Hello, it's Andy's Free Guitar Chart videos, and we're going to continue from yesterday. Welcome to my Facebook friends and my YouTube followers. And anyone who's found this video, please like and subscribe. Follow the instructions below the video to access the Facebook group page, Andy's Free Guitar Chart videos group. I want to talk about my trials and tribulations with the cello. Now this is the Chart 386 Final Cello Adjusted Printable. Okay, so this is the design that I came up for the cello, and I had used the Excel program that I wrote. It's just a table that does things that Excel would do, but I wrote that it's just a table I made in Word. And this is for certain string lengths, and we come up with these numbers. A nodal number, length from the nut. Here's the nut now. So if this is the cello, this is the nut where the string starts. This is the end of the fretboard. This is the string length. Okay, but I was having a problem, and that is the action was way too high on the cello because the bridge was too high that I bought, and I had to watch a bunch of YouTubes about basically whittling down a bridge to have the desired closeness of those strings, and that's exactly what I've done here with my cello right here. So this is the cello. I know it looks like a freaking I don't know what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a guy riding an airplane or something. Anyway, so what I had to do is get this action down, this clearance right here, the clearance between the strings and the fretboard, okay, so that the notes would play. And that's what I did. I brought it down about a ½ centimeter, and apparently that was enough. Cautiously, I brought it down a ½ centimeter because I knew I could always bring it down some more. How did I do it? I took a very sharp knife and a hammer, and I just kind of made like a guillotine, and I cut it, you know, in so many straight lines. As you know, a curved surface is a summation of infinite straight lines. So what I was doing was looking to make this particular distance here. So let's say this is the string, okay, and then your fretboard, and then when the string gets depressed, if your fingerboard is too low, what happens? This distance, it stretches the string, but that doesn't mean the tone goes down, because when you're tightening a string on a guitar, the tone goes up, as if you were pulling that string and making it longer. So it made the string longer, and the end result was to raise the pitch because it was like tightening the string. So when I made the action, when I brought that action down, I saw what I wanted of it from it, and I brought that action down to say like this. Okay, so we only had this small amount of action between the fingerboard. Then I was able to play the notes. So for instance, okay, so that worked out pretty well compared to what it was. Okay, compared to what it was terrible. It was a full ½ step higher than I had put the note map on, but I had to go with my note map with the formula. Okay, now let me just take a second here. Okay, so I had already figured out these distances, okay, on my fingerboard the length of the cello nut to the end of that fingerboard is 58.2. Okay, it's written right there on the design. So I knew that I didn't want the center of the last note to be hanging over that. So I made it 57.03, which is half of a note's. I gave it about, I actually tested it. Problem is, my test was kind of biased, so I had to really guess where that last note was going to be. And I guess that cellists don't want to put their fingers way too close to that edge. And I'm not going to be up there a whole lot of times. But the action's so much better now that I made Mr. Bridge smaller. Okay, I just cut this with a knife and a hammer. And then I took a serrated knife and made appropriate size slits that I marked off. Didn't mess with the legs at all. And now it's starting to play again, which is nice, because I was kind of upset. So I fixed that. I had, when I did the violin, I had to make an adjustment because apparently the action wasn't the issue with the violin. So I made an adjustment on, my on the design. This design here. Now, so this last number, this is the upper edge of the last fret. This is the lower edge of the last fret. And the place to put your finger is in the middle. So 56.73 centimeters is in the middle of 56.42 and 56.02. So I no matter what number I put in here, 68, 69, 70, I just kept changing that number until I got the number I wanted right here. Okay, and then the rest of it was kind of guesswork, where I actually measured the note. But the problem is I did that, I should redo it, but it's a little too late now. It seems to be working, which is important. The problem with right now that I'm facing is how to tune this baby, and it should sound like this. And I'm getting like, so it's kind of tuned to itself. That's more important, that it be tuned to itself, that each string lost about the same amount, than trying to get it really right up to pitch, so that we can still play these string shapes. So this is what we're looking at here, okay? C on the bottom, and then G, okay? And then you can go like root 2, 3, 4. Now keep in mind, these are piano notes. You got to hit the middle of them, so it'd be root 2, 3, 4. And then 5, 6, 7 root, 5, 6, 7 root. Okay, and we want to take it a little higher there. We could go up to 3, 4, 5 string shape on the third string. Okay, so they kind of work. I mean, that's all. Who could ask for anything more? So that's the gist of this. Now let's talk about what we need to talk about, and that is, once you know where these notes are, what kind of string shapes relationship do we have between the guitar and that cello? Okay, so we're back over here with, and let me adjust I have it so that you can see the instrument, but back over here looking again at 391, cello scales and string shapes as inverses of guitar string shapes, plus the same note start and end rule for cello scales method. So here we have the cello scales, and what's more interesting is how the guitar and the cello are very similar once you break it down to string shapes. In guitar, like I said yesterday, if we go root 2, 3 in guitar, we're going to 4, 5, 6 next. Let me grab my guitar. We'll go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7 root 2. Sorry. I think I'm getting into some weird stretchy strings.